We're here. We did it. Huzzah. That was my energetic intro that you are not going to get any.
I love it. I was not ready for it, but I love it.
I don't have any more. That was it. I hope you're here. It's all downhill from here. The energy is out. I'm ready for a nap.
That took a lot out of everyone present.
Yeah, that too, probably, to be honest. It's fine. Anyway, welcome to Rescuers: The Call of Zool, a terribly horrible, scary thing that we're doing with look at the happy sounds that we're doing right now. You wouldn't know all the secrets that we have. Oh yeah.
Caliport, this is
That's right. I forgot. We didn't make this canon.
we have established this is canon.
We just go back and forth.
Oh man.
Here we go. We just had to get that out. The jitters.
Mm-hmm.
That's the word. I was like, what is this called? The fingers, the hands,
hand
the jitters.
jive?
Yeah,
Anxiety.
that one. Sure. We'll go with that. I don't think I have anything in the way of announcements tomorrow. We should be having our game unless something crazy happens, in which case we'll keep everybody posted. But for the time being, tomorrow night we have Game of Santos as they continue their final dungeon.
Graham is playing Eberron on Friday. And then Sunday is Fey Court finale on Clickety Clackety.
Woo! As we watch Dreamy emotionally mutilate her players. Well, I think the players are
emotional.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it's the players who emotionally mutilate
You're all so
each other.
emotional.
You're so emotional. Oh my god.
And what was going to be a wedding, I think it's now going to be a murder. Come tune in to see what happens.
Both were premeditated.
That is a tagline. Wedding, murder. Both are premeditated. or drunken blackout, night in Vegas.
Shotgun
You don't
murder.
know.
50-50.
Just change out the terms and they become basically the same thing.
Oh my god.
Shotgun wedding, shotgun murder. Both were unmurdered.
Both get you in trouble. All right. Anyway, yeah, I think that's about it. So, we have some catching up to do as last week. Well, we'll get into that after our intro. So let's go ahead and roll that intro, and we'll get started with tonight's episode of Rescuers: The Call of Zool. Welcome to Kalimshan, friends. A land of wealth, magic, wonder, and of course, plenty of danger. And we're back. Okay. Cracks knuckles. Last time, on the Rescuers of Zool. Well, not the Rescuers of Zool. The Call of Zool.
I know. I was like, do we want to rescue the God of Chaos?
Rescuers, season 2. All right. The party had begun their investigation around Calimport, looking for Martel and Sybil's, well, uncle, as you might say. It was later learned that their uncle is indeed a member of Sybil and Martel, or should I say Gruff and Lydia, also Sybil and Martel now. They're a member of their order, a mysterious group of knights that seem to do good, but tend to keep a low profile. Chaudir has shown himself to be a man in search of his family. A family that has a very complicated past, a very magical past, as there's a few djinn/genies involved, but still a complicated one nonetheless. And Naja, a local who is taken on this group as a tour guide with maybe at first less than noble intentions, but has grown to be growing fond of this ragtag group of outsiders. Last we had left off, episode before last, Sybil had departed from the group under a curious circumstance, while Chaudir, Martel, and Naja continued their journey, playing a little truth or dare, sort of, 2 truths, 1 lie, and visiting a tavern of a old fling and the library of a elderly gnomish woman whom had some information that was found out there before they went to go seek the home of a Gaius Delwyn, the uncle, quote unquote, of Martel and Sybil. Don't worry, Chaudir, if you need to reconnect and pop in and pop out. Yep, there it goes. We have to switch this for a second.
I'm in 2 screens.
1 screen, 2 screens, all screens. All right, well, it's shifted for a second, but now you are Naja, now you are Chaudir.
Yes.
It's fine. All right, but as before we dive into what Martel, Chaudir, and Naja have found in the house of Gaius Delwyn, we're gonna go back in time a little bit and see where and what our illustrious Sybil has been up to. Let me switch this out real quick. Ba-doop. Now it says Sybil there. Yeah. Okay. Let's get the vibe going here. We'll do this. Sybil, you had been on the cusp of... Oh, let's let Trevor back in. Ba-doop, ba-doop. Moving things around. There we go. All right. As you had been...
No, sorry.
No, you're good. As you had been on the cusp of joining everybody in the Faded Coins, there was a tug on the weave around you. A sudden shift in its presence. You turn your attention behind you, and you see a cloaked figure with blue shimmering cloth in the distance as people are like moving about, because this is the grand the Grand Ward. I think that's where we were at.
Yeah, we were in the Grand
The
Ward.
Grand Ward, where all the major shopping is done in Kalimport. And you see out of the corner of your eye a shift of blue fabric. And it immediately strikes you as familiar. This was something that you had seen before when you were on the ship coming here. An individual that kept disappearing into the crowd at the corners of your vision, and you're half sure that it is real and partially considering the fact that you might just be imagining it. But the weave has shifted your attention towards them, and as they disappear in the crowd, you turn back to look at your friends and know that maybe you should pursue this just a little bit. Turning to Martel, you had given him a little, or what we said, you had given him a little tug on the sleeve and just been like, I'll be back. And you disappeared into the crowd. Using your skills as a negotiator to effortlessly blend in. We'll say you even put like a cloak up over your head as you kind of move your way through the crowd. Make a perception check for me. What was it? 10? Okay, cool. The Grand Bazaar in the middle of this Grand Bazaar here in the middle of the day, the light is bright, even amongst the covered areas. And the smells are intense, and the people, as they come back and forth, can be a little distracting, but you, with focus and purpose, follow where the weave is pulling you. Do you want to say something? Or you just... Okay.
I'm listening.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were like trying to like, wait.
No, I do that when I need to. I listen.
Nose
Okay,
touch.
got it. You follow the direction that you felt that person disappear into, and then kind of as you reach that point, looking around, close your eyes and try and feel the presence of the weave as it twists in and out. The weave of magic it is many things to some, but to the knights of the weave, the knights of the living order, it goes beyond just a lattice work of arcane magic. It goes beyond a thing that the arcane users call upon for their spells. This is a cycle, and it is the way that fate and maybe even destiny wills things to happen. And something is pulling you in this direction, and you continue to follow this thread that meanders in and amongst the crowd. We had described it before as like watching a puppet with the strings above it, except that the strings of the weave don't act from above. They kind of pull in all directions and have different shades and hues depending on life events. And if one really focuses, you can learn a lot about the way and who a person is by the way the weave filters through them. And you follow, and you kind of notice that as you're going, the people in the area they all keep an eye on the sky, as you've been told, and you kind of keep that in mind as you're moving along. But the weave doesn't just operate in the skies above. You feel the weave down around your feet as well. It's like walking into a room where there's like a cold draft around your feet, and you can feel the warmth of the sun up above you, but you still feel around your feet this pool of something. And as you continue to go and navigate, your mind goes back to the couple of occasions as you've been following Naja, and she's avoided certain areas. navigated you away from, now that you think about it, these exact feelings. But this is where the weave is pulling you. This is where your quarry has gone. What do you do?
I want to. I'm just gonna go ahead and follow it.
Yeah? Okay.
Roll an investigation first to like see if there's like what's wonky around there.
Sure.
Got a 20, dirty 20.
30-20. You're not sure. But you can tell that wherever you are going, the weave still works there. It's still at motion, and there are still beings present. But there is also a coldness and an oddness to the air. The more you go into this neighborhood and you turn around and you realize you've gone further than you imagined in this area. Walking through the neighborhood, following, and occasionally you spot that cloaked figure, that shimmer of like a blue, sparkly material that catches the sunlight. And then another person passes by, a large, hulking bugbear and his companion, and they're just like deeply engaged in conversation, and you kind of just like subtly shift your way around them, and then with the moment that you do, that cloaked figure is gone. But you keep going, and the weave pulls stronger the more you go. And then you realize that... Go ahead.
Is this the weave pulling me?
Something, yes. So the weave is definitely urging you in this direction. There is something that you must see. But is it just the weave, or is it the curiosity of the person that you were following? It's kind of hard to tell the difference between the two. And then suddenly you enter a neighborhood and everything seems quiet. And it feels oppressive here. There is a darkness, you think. The neighborhood is still within the Grand Bazaar, or the Grand Ward, but it's a little darker here for some reason. Like the shading of the cloth extends more and more over the alleyways and the roadways. With that, we'll say that with that investigation check and you looking up, there's almost a... Like we had described that there's a lot of awnings in across the streets, right? This is one complete awning that goes across all the way, and you realize that you can see bits of the fabric, but also it looks like there is something else that covers from one fabric piece to the next. It's almost like a green, mossy-like material. It looks see-through just as much as like sackcloth. You know, you can kind of see through it, but it looks more vegetative. Vegetative? It looks more green, like grown, than it does like woven fabrics. And you continue to follow this pool of the weave. And you look into the bottoms of the around you on the street corners, and the earth feels not damp per se, but definitely closer to being moist than the dry, deserty feeling of most of Kalimport. It just feels a little like there's more moisture in the air, and you definitely feel a difference in the air. And as you come around a corner, there is a large staircase that goes down into the city. It goes probably about 20 feet wide. This is not a space where it's like a hidden doorway. This is an avenue that would go downwards. And you can feel the air coming from below. It's not necessarily cool, but is definitely humid. And it smells of damp and fresh earth, mixed with a little something else. It is then that you hear the voice in your mind.
Do you sense it also?
There's definitely something that isn't right.
No, this is not right. This is why I have come. There is a tangle of realities here. I would show myself to you, but it is not time yet. But we know each other, Knight.
The voice that's in your head, while maybe not sounding immediately familiar, you recognize the way the Sisterhood of Demos would speak.
So, why did you lead me here?
It is not completely me that has led you here, but I have sensed you and your fellow knight have been searching for something. Do you seek a knight that has gone missing? I too seek a knight that has fallen under this sway. Do you remember what we have taught you from the abyss and how it taints the mind?
Did you say yes? Okay.
I had a vision of a knight bound, and he had fallen under the sway of the abyss. I was not sure who this knight was, but I know that anyone who has fallen under the sway of the abyss is in danger of upsetting a balance that we have kept. Now that I know you and Martel are here, I understand that this knight was not just any knight, but one of your kind, if I am to make a assumption.
That's a good assumption.
You stand there, looking down at this pathway that leads into darkness below the city of Kellenport. You hear this voice that sounds like it's whispering in your ear. Probably, you are familiar enough with arcane users to recognize the message spell and when it is being used, where you can just hear that whisper. So it's not quite in your mind, but it's very close and private. What are you doing? What would you like to do in this moment?
I would like to briefly observe my surroundings and then probably work my way out.
Make a perception check.
Five.
I'm sorry, was it 25? Heck yeah. Okay. Looking around, there and are you just using like vision, or are you using your connection with the weave to feel things around you?
Weave.
You look around and then shift your attention to where you can sense things and all through the environs around you. And you can feel that there is a funneling of energy that goes into the Undercity. There is something down there that is definitely causing a disturbance in the weave. But you're not really sure what it is. It's not a feeling that you've ever felt before. And the people here that are living in the area around you, you can feel them in their homes. And they're not necessarily scared or anything, but they definitely have there is a darkness to this area that you have never felt before. And somewhere behind you, you feel that presence of this sister, one of the Sisterhood of Deimos. They have this peculiarness to the weave, and you've become familiar with it in all of your time that was spent there in the Temple of Cacophony. The weave swirls around them like almost like a cocoon. It's like the weave comes to their bodies and wraps around them, never really fully touching them. It's as if they exist in and out of reality, so to speak. Like the weave normally goes through a person and out. This just kind of swirls around like spaghetti on a fork around them, but it's still part of them, but they are also part of something else. And you feel that spaghettification somewhere off behind you, and you understand how I'm just gonna be making up words this whole season. So just
add that down for
to an Aaronism, spaghettification. You understand, you know how the Sisterhood of Deimos are. They are very big on their secrecy and their privacy, and you understand that as a Knight of the Weave, for you guys are very similar in that respect. There is a lot of secrets that the Knights keep, and there are a lot of secrets that the Sisterhood keeps. You said you were, it is an actual word, I know, Graham, but it's more of a, in this kind of term.
It's an
I'm not talking about a black hole.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, it's a real word.
You said you were gonna.
This is how you lose all your players.
That's
Sorry.
fine. No,
Please
you're
continue.
fine.
I was like, what a fun word.
No, you're
real.
fine. You're fine. You said you were going to do what? After you looked around, you were going to do what?
I am gonna walk away from the area.
Okay.
I think I have a good enough idea of what's
Of
going
something?
on.
You hear as you are starting to walk away, you hear the voice in your mind again.
Knight, be careful. I sense the Brotherhood is here, and they are most treacherous. They hide everywhere. They infect the mind in a way that makes them connected. Like a vine that overtakes a wall, they spread and on the outside may appear benign, but they are the most dangerous side of our Lord. They have no boundaries, and they only seek to please him. They care not what gets tangled in their way. I will stay close, but they cannot know that I am here. Not yet. I will show you what I saw, if you allow it.
Is this gonna like disrupt me in any way? Like, will it be noticeable to people in the crowd?
You say that, and as you look around, there is nobody. And as you kind of like, you do a kind of a slow circle around, and you see in the hallway directly across from you the cloaked and veiled figure of one of the sisters. And you see the one beringed hand with this golden nails and blue skin that kind of just gestures for you to come forward.
Follow.
And as you approach, you recognize the attire of one of the sisterhood, one of the sisters of Deimos, in that veiled headdress that covers the horns just below the fabric, the sparkling blue robe that they that they have on. And as she extends her hand outwards, you touch it. As your hands briefly link, you sense and feel everything slightly twist on itself. And you have a sudden flash upon flash of memory. You see Delwyn. Let me get to the right thing here. You see Delwyn on his knees in a dark place lit with green flame. You see the vision that this sister had of him. You see the black ooze that roils down the chains and starts to encompass his body, slowly maneuvering across his arms until his entire self is covered in this darkness. It's kind of like watching Venom from like Spider-Man. It's that same sort of like inky blackness that just kind of slowly consumes his body. And you feel that strange loss and despair and fear from her at seeing this and knowing what is happening and hearing the voices chant that Zool will deliver this night. Zool. You also see the turmoil and the immediate carnage that resulted from that within the temple. The other sisters being sundered, and her, Kestra, having just barely escaped with her life. When you come to, you are standing in the alleyway, and you are alone. You can see that the sun has shifted a little bit. And there is a strange shimmer around you. an illusion that has been set in place. What do you do?
I want to. So I've been standing there for a minute, right?
Seems like it. Your body feels kind of tired in that sense of having, like, you stand when you're standing for a while.
Are there a whole bunch of people close to me?
You don't see your.
Oh,
That's part of the whole thing about this neighborhood, is that it is extremely quiet and seems to be avoided by the walking masses.
I am going to dip and go. I want to leave this part of town, and I want to head towards where I feel Martell is.
Okay. As you leave the bubble of the illusion, you realize that you have been shielded from sight, hidden.
Like as
Go ahead.
quick as possible.
Sure. You leave, and as you are leaving the neighborhood that is now a lot darker than you remember, you realize that it is now afternoon. And you have to really focus, trying to feel where you sense Martell. And you start to go in the direction that you came. You realize he's not there. You don't feel his presence there anymore. So you take a moment and reorient yourself and dash off in the direction that you feel him. Okay? Make a perception check for me. With advantage, because you're using your the weave to guide you through the city.
24.
24? They have moved, and you realize that you've lost probably an hour or two as you've looked up at the sun. It's not quite evening yet, but it is getting close. And as you run off into the city, this new information in your mind, having now had the vision that we had shared at the beginning of this series, replayed in your mind legitimately, we switch over and move to another place. We go to elsewhere in the city, in the Konduk ward. Let me switch this. Naja, Martell, and Shaudir have reached the house of Gaius Delwyn, at least the last place, Naja, that you knew he lived in. Although there has been all this talk this time from Martell, as you know him now, of the loss of their uncle and being unable to find him, and you realize you haven't seen him in a while, and it seems like no one's seen him in a while. You see that the light of his house is on, and you even see the shift of someone within, behind the ragged curtains over the window. You still have probably an hour before sunset. And it's not like you can't be out after dark, but the city definitely grows a little more eerie after the sun has gone
How long
down.
would it take to get from the Kanduk ward back to the Stumble Down?
At a quickened pace, probably 45 minutes. At a just general pace, it takes about an hour. But you have you have like an hour and a half. We'll say give it an hour and a half before.
If there's a shortcut, I know it.
Yes. You go into the house as Martell had sensed that there was not a Gaius within, but something else. And Shaudir and with Martell and Shaudir's help, you beat down the door And on the inside,
Unimpressively.
but you did it. You did
Just
it. It's
barely.
fine. It's fine. Again,
Technically, we did break the door.
well, once you are inside, against the far wall of this abandoned-looking apartment, you see the little bedroll, and up against it the rather unfortunate-looking hobgoblin that looks like he had been caught by surprise as the sudden door bust in. And as you had questioned him a little bit, he had gestured for you to come closer. Come closer. This poor, unfortunate soul, whose mouth had suddenly begun to open outwards and lower as his hands kind of stretched in an elongated fashion towards you. And you just said, "Ah!" as he came to try and eat your face. And that's where I need you guys to roll initiative.
Oh, Lord!
Oh, Lord.
All right.
I rolled decent on my initiative. I never rolled decent on my initiative.
I
How
rolled
exciting.
poop on initiative.
Also,
Really good.
hold on. Running count. There we go. Go ahead and tell me what you rolled because I didn't have it up yet, but go for it. Tell me what you got.
15.
15?
14.
19.
Son of a bitch. Though it would be very fitting for him to get better initiative than me.
Hold on. I got to edit
Unless
this
he's
real
not
quick.
as fast as he looks.
Edit.
He's pretty fast.
He's pretty fast.
Edit. Change characters. Make sure that we have everybody in here. All right. There we go. Save. Yes. Now I can hit run encounter again. Naja, you said 14 or 15?
Mhm.
14. Shaudir, you said
15.
15. And Martel,
19.
19. And Sybil, if you would be so kind as to roll initiative for me as well.
Fix redeemed hydrate.
Oh.
Thank you. Hydrate.
Oh, there it is. It's like, wait, where did I put it?
We'll just drink the melting man.
Yeah, it's fine.
He is a liquid.
What
We
did you
might
get?
have to juice him first.
Oh, no.
Oh,
3?
my.
Uh-oh, I can't hear you now. Oh,
You
no.
muted?
I got a natural 1.
Perfect.
It's a 3.
A 3. Perfect. Let me
Dang.
let me start up this. Ooh. And I will auto roll this. And I'm gonna go back here and turn on the map cam for everybody else. Whoosh.
It's a map. It's a map. It's a map.
Okay. Now. Let me see here. Okay. Top of the round. Naja, I'll put you back in here. This is kind of like this open, it would be like living space, dining space, and like a little kitchen.
Okay.
You hear something move in the kitchen.
Cool.
Just hear like what sounds like a cupboard or something like creak, the door like close or creak or something. I don't know what that is. That's weird. What could that be? But as we get there, Martel, what are you doing? You right here in front of you, we have this like creepy
jeez.
thing with like these long arms that is reaching out towards you. Its jaw now down enough to where it goes almost to the top of its chest, as it just has this gaping maw with like shark-like teeth. its skin is like now starting to like stretch over its face, and its eyes look like they bulge from
We'll
their
post a
sockets.
picture on break.
Yeah.
That's pretty gnarly.
So what would you like to
Alright.
do?
So what I would like to do is I'm gonna cast Blur, which I believe is a oh no, it's just a regular action. Okay, then I'll just cast Blur
All right.
on myself.
Blur on yourself. All right.
So yeah, basically what you see is Martel suddenly you're not quite sure. You can see where he is, but you're not quite sure exactly where he is. He's doing a little,
I
little
would
of this
say,
action.
yeah, I would say that there is a little bit of the weave kind of blends itself around you to where it kind of gives you that blurred look as it kind of whips around you in a quick fashion. Yeah. All right. So cast Blur. Anything else you're wanting to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna move directly in front of him, in between Shaudir
Okay.
and the creature. And I feel like I can't use a bonus action to attack unless I can do Flurry of Blows without having actually attacked. But I don't know if that's
I-
true.
I don't
As
know.
ridden, I don't think.
I don't remember. I think with monks, yeah, I don't. I'd have to ask Sonder or Iskra.
What was the
Iskra, do
one
you know?
question?
Flurry
If-
of Blows needs you to have attacked first.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
right.
because you spend a key point for a bonus action to flurry blows. It's
Right.
been a minute, but
It does. Okay, thank you,
I've
Iskra.
been
I was
along.
like, I know Iskra's in here. I think, yeah.
Okay, well that's the case. Then can I just use the bonus action to draw the sunset?
Sure. So
All right, then I'll do that.
dope. So describe for us what what Shaudir sees as you do that.
Yeah, so Shaudir sees me pull out what looks like a hilt from out of my robe, and he probably is very confused until it alights with red fire into what looks like an actual sword.
The hell?
And then he'll say something cool, but I
Like
don't know what.
you can't start with that. You have to.
You
come
could
on.
just have a placeholder
Long
as
day,
in one-liner or cool phrase.
No,
insert.
I think Martel will literally say something cool.
That's literally what he says. Just
Damn, he's
some-
cool.
something cool. Amazing. I love it. Okay. All right. So you do that. Your blade is now lit, and it contrasts with the yellowish lantern light that this guy had already in this dim environment. Now there's like this yellow light coming from like this corner of the room, and then there's also like this red glow. Naja, I will say that as your ears perked one direction, on the other side you see now this like reddish flame erupt from Martel's hands as he literally says something cool. Okay. Okay. So, I think that ends your turn. Then let me get back to this. Ends your turn. All right. Cool. Shaudir, it is your turn, followed by Naja up on deck.
Shaudir agrees that that sword is very cool. He will, seeing that this is a combat situation and that he's not trying to hide who he is at this point, he's going to move down southwest 1 and then 2 to the right. Or actually, no, just to that bottom corner.
This bottom corner.
Yeah, bottom corner.
There you go. So you get post up right next to where there's like a raggedy curtain that is right there in front of this window that has the open shutters to the outside that you guys had seen the movement go by.
We don't want him getting away, and he's going to reach into his cloak for his definitely real magic lamp, and he's going to cast Eldritch Blast from it.
Nice.
So I believe that attacks twice, because I will send both targets at it.
Sure. Make your attack roll.
That is a 25.
25 definitely hits.
And I'll roll for the second one. That is a 19.
Okay.
So the first one, 1d8 plus 11, because I'm going to use my elemental gift to once per turn when I attack someone with anything, I can add my proficiency bonus in bludgeoning damage.
All right.
So that first one will deal 17, which is a combination of force and then 4 bludgeoning.
All right.
You
17
can still hear
damage.
me fine,
Yep,
right?
yep,
My
yep.
internet seems to be a little weird. Okay.
No, you're good.
And the second one is 16 force damage. And whenever I hit anyone with a bludgeoning attack, I can push them 5 crusher feet. So I will push him up, closer
one?
to the other corner, 5 feet.
Yeah, so he goes up 1 square. Nice. So you're just holding. Oh my god, are you holding your lamp like a blaster right now?
Like a gun.
Oh my god, we are in Star Wars for sure now. We have lightsabers and
Make
a
a wish,
blaster.
And now she's just like, no one give me the memo.
That is incredible. I love that visual that now you have. I'm imagining you holding it like Han Solo does his blaster with his hand back. And just like that is incredible. I love it. Okay, cool.
Don't look down the barrel.
This blast, is your blast go with red light also?
We'll just say a purplish
Purplish.
light.
I'm down. 100% love
Like an
this.
amethyst light purple
You
energy
see
blast.
you see as this blast strikes this creature from the side, it like takes it off balance for a second as it was reaching for Martel, and then kind of like hesitated at the ignition of that red blade, and it wasn't expecting you to just like quickly shift over to the side because obviously your light, its attention is on red fire from the handle, and then it kicks it onto the side, and it goes takes a couple of like stumbling steps back, grabs onto the wall and behind it, and you see these furrows dig into the wall where its claws kind of just drag it along the back as it's like orients itself, I guess. I don't know, something like that. We'll just say.
And then otherwise, I will spend as a bonus action, due to being an Earth Genasi, as a bonus action, I will cast Blade Ward.
All right, cool. Dope. Right. That ends your turn then?
Yes, sir.
Naja, what are you doing?
Okay, I don't play Marshall very often. Is it going to take a bonus action to draw my sword and shield?
Free action.
Cool. I'm going to do that. And then me check out the noise behind me since they've got this guy in front of me.
Okay. You're gonna move around the corner a little bit, or at least to
Yeah.
where you can see. You move up to around the corner, taking a quick look. You can see there is a cabinet under like a bowl that is kind of used as a sink.
Mhm.
There is like a wooden door below it that there is a snake that is coming out, a cobra looking snake that is like in the process of slithering up, and it looks up at you, and the whole thing is like this very black and green looking snake, a very unusual coloration for this type of serpent. In fact, it doesn't even look fully like a normal serpent, but it just kind of looks up at you, and its hood immediately starts to raise as it
So
like
getting
rises.
bad vibes from it?
Bad vibes, yes.
Okay,
Bad
then
vibes.
I'm going to attack it.
It's not a friend.
It's not a friend.
Most
With
snakes
my
can be a friend.
Scimitar of speed. Look, we try not to push snake stereotypes here. Okay,
Yeah, most snakes can be a friend.
that's a natural 1 for that one, which is a 10.
Okay. That misses.
Okay, my second one is
Your scimitar goes down and it rises itself up just out of
a
the way.
19.
That one hits.
Okay,
Bingo.
good. I'll roll damage for that one second. So I got a third attack with my magical weapon.
Nice.
And that is a 18.
18 also hits.
Okay, so the first one that hits is cocked. That is 8 points of slashing damage, and the second one is.
How
10
would you
points
like
of
to?
slashing
How would you like
damage.
to do this?
It's a snake.
It's a snake.
Just gonna
Well,
cut its head off.
interesting. So your first blade, your
sure
first
hope it
attack
wasn't a
goes
friend.
down. Your first blade goes down and hits the ground as
I
it like
have a feeling.
reels back up, and then as you do that, you just quickly twist the handle and go upwards and do this like uppercut towards its head, and it like as it strikes through its body, severing the head, the creature shifts in this weird, unnatural like you hear the cracking of bones, and as the head like kind of tennis balls around the corner of the wall, like hits the ground, you see a small gremlin like looking head with two completely black eyes and two horns that go up. Its snake-like body starts to writhe on the ground as two arms and two legs come out, as his body becomes like almost like small quasit looking. If you've ever seen a quasit before.
About to Google it.
He's one of these little guys that you can't see because the camera's blurry. Let's see if I can do it on this one. There you go. Look at him.
Hey,
Look at that
look at you
one.
with your multi-camera setup.
Yeah, I know, right? So that was there. It is now dead. So that's gone.
Look, I'm from the deep south. My daddy said you gotta take the snake's head off.
Oh,
He doesn't
Well,
talk
there's
like
not
that.
much else to take off, so I guess that's valid.
perfect. Love it. Love it. All right. Anything else?
That is my action and bonus action for this round.
All right, cool.
Let me scoot up with the rest of my movement. I don't know how much I use, like maybe 10 feet.
You moved like 10 feet, yeah.
Yeah, so let me use the remaining 20 to get closer to our other little friend.
He is
I'll get you
not
back
afraid.
over. Wait, like us, your friends here, or this like closer in the kitchen?
No, closer to the Saurosaurn.
Okay, so yeah, we'll put you
As
right
long
there
as
in the
I don't
doorway.
like see anything else climbing out of the. Like it was just that
Make
snake thing.
Make a perception check for me.
Okay. I'm good at that. When I'm not rolling like shit. That was a 10.
Yep, nope, I didn't see anything else.
Okay.
Okay.
The snake is like friends.
That brings us to the Hungry's turn. Now that
Hungry what?
this creature, now as it has been shoved sideways by your Eldritch Blast, you see its head turn like oddly to the side. As it turns its head, its jaw still like hangs down before it rights its head again, and then looks over at Martel, and it is going to make a swipe at him. Actually, it is going to move this way. It is going to swipe one hand sideways towards Martel, and then it reaches the other hand out with an elongated reach
Ew.
that like goes towards your face. So it's going to make an attack on both of you. For Martel, that's disadvantage, right?
Correct.
Because of blur.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled.
I'm not sure it'll beat my armor class.
I rolled
My very high. Armor.
I rolled 2 18s.
Wow.
For
Just
that one.
makes it by 6 points.
Well, this is for Martel's.
Yeah, this is me.
For Martel
What's
with
the
that
total? I might still be able to cheat.
the 18 is the total. That is
Oh, then we're good. Yeah, no.
cool.
19's my AC.
Perfect. So, you using this blur, it kind of like swipes down where you thought you were, and you kind of like have now shifted over to the side, as its attention was kind of like just trying to get at the things that just came at it, sort of thing. The other attack on Shaudir is going to be a 22 total to hit.
Makes it by 10.
Oof. Woof. Okay.
That is why I'm resistant.
My brother, we got to get you some armor.
I don't need armor.
That is going to be 19 points of slashing damage.
halved.
Halved. Okay, 8
Late
points.
war.
Yep. So
Just posted a picture of what we're fighting in Discord.
nice. So that would be then halved would be 9 points of damage, and I need you. You are now considered grappled.
Oh,
As the hand wraps, not only claws you, but it like its fingers as it hits become long, and it kind of like wraps itself around your body in this like unnatural bone cracking finger that goes around and like tries to grab at you. So
Going out for Shoudier.
it is
I'm fine.
you are considered grappled and are restrained until the grapple ends.
Restrained.
Yes. So you'll have to make a athletics or acrobatics check on your next turn to escape from it, if you will. I think you can't move basically. Can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. And attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage. And disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. That's it with restrained.
That is a shame.
Sybil, you have been running through this neighborhood. This is a ward that you have never been in. You don't know where you have been where you are necessarily in the city, but you can sense danger, and you are moving quickly as you can.
Fly, fool.
You're running through like neighborhoods, past guards, past citizens, and you have now reached a section of the city of like further to the north. I think you kind of have a general idea of like the different wards, and this definitely seems like somewhat of a neighborhood, maybe an older neighborhood that you're running towards. But you see a house that is as you're coming around the corner, and I'm going to put you right here. So you can see that there is like this house that you are approaching. Oh, wait, hold on. There you are. You're right over here. As you are approaching this house at the end of your turn of movement, unless you want to use your action to dash, then we'll get you closer.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay. What's your movement speed is ridiculous, I think. So another 50 feet. Oh, yeah. Freak yeah. So another 50
Months,
feet.
man.
Yep. Shoot, yo. You can get right up to the door that is open, or you can go to this window that is open. But you've definitely seen a flash of like light that comes from this open window, and your senses tell you that there is chaos going on inside.
I'm going to the window.
To the window!
To the wall.
To the wall.
Oh yeah, 100%. That'll get you right up there to the window. Make a quick perception check.
Natural.
A what?
I got a natural 20. It's 26.
Heck yeah. Even through the even through
Bye, Sybil.
even through the like raggedy
there he
curtain,
is.
the raggedy curtain that is there, it's blowing in the wind enough that you can get a quick view of Martell's inside, the red of his blade burning brightly. You see this monstrous thing that is like now probably about 7 feet tall and is like making swipes at your friends, and you're just like, oh, okay, that's the
Isn't it
situation.
like currently choking out Shoudier too?
Yeah, it's kind of gross. You see one arm that is like stretched super long and towards the corner right by the window where you can see Shoudier is kind of being pushed up against the wall a little bit.
Good to see you.
So yeah. So that ends, I guess, you're with that, unless there's a bonus action that you can do, since your action
Okay,
was
I
the
do
dash.
I can use Step of the Wind. I don't. No, I can't. Never mind. Ignore me. I'm good.
All right. Top of the round. Naja,
Yes.
what's your AC?
Cool. 17.
17.
Yeah.
Okay. As you are feeling this in the corner, you feel a sharp pain on the back of your calf, as there all of a sudden is a small little gremlin thing that just appeared behind you. You are taking a whopping 7 points of piercing damage because I rolled really high. This thing's don't it. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as you see him, like the little creature that is only goes up to your knee, maybe, and just like, and he kind of does like the little gremlin thing.
Different D20s, and they're all so bad. It's a 4.
It's a 4. Okay. Then you feel a burning sensation in your leg again as you are considered poisoned for the next minute and take 5 points of poison damage unless you are resistant.
No, that's my other character.
Okay.
I'm pulling out other D20s. Let's see.
You can make another saving throw at the end of your next turn to end this effect
Okay.
on yourself.
Those roll a lot better.
Okay. So that is the end of that one because this other guy is toast because he got cooked. Martel, it is now your turn.
Okay. Well, Aaron, I'm going to just absolutely go crazy on this guy, and it is
Go
my
for it.
dearest, deepest desire to cut off his arm so that he's not choking Shoutir anymore.
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay, he's good. Never mind.
Yes. But I appreciate it. Don't put yourself out.
I'm for whatever reason I'm imagining that scene in Young Frankenstein where like he's like three syllables said a give he's like throwing him around. All right, cool. Go ahead and make your attack rolls, Martel.
Okay. 1. That is a 20.
Woo.
Does that hit?
That does hit. Yes. Yes, it
Okay.
does.
2. That is a 16.
Damage. Perfect.
Sorry, 16 to hit.
16 misses.
Misses. Okay. Then I will use Flurry of Blows. That is crit.
Yeah, that is a high number.
And last one. That won't hit either. Okay. So we've got hit crit.
Alrighty. That's
Okay.
four swipes total, right? I guess
4
technically.
swipes total.
Good.
2 hit, 1 hits real good.
Yep.
Okay, so we got 12.
12 damage for
And-
the first one.
I don't know how to do. Here we go. Crit damage. Boom. Right click. Roll. Aha, that's not good. 14.
14. Alright, cool. Hey, damage is damage, yo.
Damage is damage.
You swipe once and you see it cut through cloth, through skin and sinew. Well, and cloth because it was wearing clothes at the time. It starts to burn through. And then you swipe through again, and it seems to kind of recoil enough back to where it just does a glancing blow across its chest before you do a quick like jab through its abdomen, and you like see it burn a hole in there. And as soon as you pull back, there's a little bit of that sizzle of like charred flesh as the cauterized wound stops seeping black liquid that had almost immediately started going down its belly. Cool.
Sick.
Yeah. And then you go
Sorry,
for.
this thing is not undead, right?
Doesn't seem like it, no.
Okay, cool.
And then you do a swipe towards its head, and its head kind of
Feel
does a
pulse
weird.
through its hand.
Its head does a weird
It's
like
alive.
cracking down and around motion, so the blade like bypasses chopping its head off. It's a lot faster than you realized it probably could be. But all right, that ends your turn. No movement, staying right where you're at.
Yep, staying right where I'm at.
Cool beans. Shaudir, it is now your turn with Naja up on deck.
Well, if I am less likely to be able to slip from its grasp, I will try to break it myself.
And I will attempt an athletics check to break its grasp.
Heck yeah. Do it.
That is a 16.
16 was what you needed.
Nice.
Perfect. Break free of its grasp, its strong hand, and
Stronger
as
than you
it
thought.
the hand goes back and away, there are like pieces of its finger that are missing and like have
Oh,
stayed stuck on you. But immediately as its hand goes back, you see more bone and flesh kind of writhe out to kind of fill the gap of where its fingers had been lost, and it's like,
Well, I'm going to reorganize this playing field, and Shaudir will scoot around the corner of the room to get up into the greater space in the area to be
over here,
where the other bigger room where the kitchen is.
over
He'll
here.
go up,
So
north,
okay,
and he'll actually go one more if it can.
sure.
Yeah.
What's
I
your
think, yeah.
movement speed?
It's just 30, so maybe not.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You definitely can.
That way, can't at least immediately do that again.
Well, it is
And I
going to
will
try and
cast-
take.
Hmm? Oh,
It's going to
Yes.
take an opportunity attack as you
it has
left its
long
space. Yep, it's got a 10-foot reach. You were 10 feet away from it when it reached for you.
I wasn't sure if that was just its arms.
Oh no, it misses at an 11, so just barely. You feel the swipe of the arm that had you just like pulled out
Oh,
from as you
shit.
kind of run from it. It swipes down at you, and you feel it like catch and snag at the edges of your cloak as you or your robe as you like run forward.
Oh shit!
But you are out
just
of its way.
because now that I've gotten into the larger room, Shaudir will cast another Blade Ward as a bonus action because the Urchinasi can do that 3 times per sleep
Cool.
Nice.
Well done.
in case it gets any ideas.
I'd like to think that. What does your blade ward look like? 'Cause I have an idea, but I want to know what you would imagine.
It's kind of like if you were watching early Pokemon. I don't know what it looks like now. You know how Metapod used Harden? It just kind of went. And
Yeah.
Then,
Okay.
and then kind of visually faded away after taking place.
Yeah, I kind of
It's just
was
a-
imagining your
then it's not
Earth
there.
Genasi skin just becomes like shale and rock like. You become the statue of David underneath for a second before it like finishes out. Yeah, cool,
Do a
cool.
little posing. See this shit?
Made of marble, baby. All right. Anyway.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay. All right. Naja, it is now your turn. You just saw Shaudir like yeet himself around, barely escape from this arm that kind of like went out and grabbed him. And you have now this little like gremlin that just slashed at your leg.
I am from my belt. I'm gonna pull this little nondescript carving that's still in the process of being worked on,
Mhm.
and I'm going to cast Radiance of the Dawn.
Nice.
So you see this like flare of light come out from Naja, and I need the gremlin and the hungry to make a con saving throw.
Con save. Okay, gremlin con save is a 19.
Not save, so it takes half damage.
And then the hungry's con save is an 18, but he rolled
So
less.
they both save, but that's a 13, so they take half damage, which is... Oh my gosh, numbers. We round up or down?
Down? I think it's
6?
damage wise. I think it generally rounds down. 6 damage to both.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wait, does it have? No, it does not.
And then for bonus action, I'm going to cast Zephyr Strike.
Ooh.
Mm,
Okay. What does that do?
someone's casting spells
It
over
will
there.
help me on my next turn.
Dope. Got it. All right. Sick. So
Oh, do I need to roll to end the poison?
yes, please.
Okay, what was that, a con save?
Yes.
The natural one.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, so you still, for the moment, are
Fourth
poisoned.
D20.
You're just going through them?
Mhm.
No!
But that's giving each of them a chance to be low.
Yeah. All right, cool. No sweat. All right, you see the little gremlin. What is describe to me this radiant light that just happened. What does it look like to you?
Almost like when the sun reflects off of something metallic, especially that really strong desert sun, that like flash,
Mhm.
like that.
Okay. For Shaudir, and I guess maybe Sybil, as you guys are kind of facing that direction where you can see, you see this flash of light erupt from Naja, and like you said, it's like this little brief like fire flash of light. But then for the briefest second, you see what looks like an aura of red flame that kind of goes around her in a circle. It just kind of goes poof, in like almost like an after effect of that flash. There's a little bit of a poof of fire that comes from down and around and then vanishes. All right, cool. That ends your
so
turn.
little about these people that I'm with.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that Sybil, from this building up over here in the corner, there is something that shifts and moves in the top corner. And you see what looks like a shadow that is like there is hold on. We'll say that there's like at the top of the building there is like a little bit of a a second story square up there. Up here you see the shift of like the shadow seems to move and morph out of the wall a little bit as a form of shadow appears and then leaps over the edge and dives towards you with these shadowy wings extended as it starts to fly down from this up corner. And it has got a 30-foot movement, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It's starting to fly towards your direction. It just looks like a creature of shadow that is flying towards you. And that is the end of its turn. It is now the Hungry's turn. The Hungry, now having not something in its claws, is going to... Okay, it's going to make 2 claw attacks on Martel because you are directly there in front of it. But both at disadvantage. Because you still have...
try.
Because you have the blur on. Woof! That's a 10. That is not going to hit. And then that one is an 11. Ooh, this blur, as it like starts going whoosh, whoosh, tries to try and hit you. It just seems to keep getting missed as you kind of like blur side to the side really quickly. All right, and I guess after that, it is going to... see the flash of light from around the corner, see seeing these things gonna kind of just try and move around again to kind of like give itself more reach with the other things. It's not moving too much around you, but it's kind of like it's doing that like sideways that sideways kind of crawls. It like it like hisses, and you see these long bits of drool that kind of hang down from its open mouth as it kind of like comes around. All right. So that is now Sybil's turn. You are here.
First of all, is the window open?
Yes, the window is open.
Oh, check it in the fuck it bucket. Okay, I'm going to attack the thing that's flying at me. I'm going to run towards it and attack it.
All right. We'll go up this way towards this thing that's flying down. All right. You igniting your blade, I'm assuming as well.
Yes, I am. How far above me is it?
It's kind of doing that like Batman thing where it extends these shadowy wings and glides down to ground level. It's. I would say right now it's just at like 5 feet off the ground. It's just kind of like floating down. So yeah, if you're running up to it, you can definitely strike it.
Bye, Sybil.
You see for the audiences at home, what does it look like when you ignite your blade?
Oh, it's not necessarily fire, but just like a really abrupt, shining, bright lavender purple.
Nice.
Very pretty.
Lights
Kind of
up.
silvery.
Ooh, I like that. Alrighty.
Well, they're different colors now.
Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead and make your attacks.
Okay. I'm going to do the attack thing. I'm going to use Flurry of Blows, like I usually do.
So go ahead and make your
So,
two attacks
Main
first.
attack and then
Yeah.
Flurry of Blows. Okay.
You get two attacks and then flurry of blows.
Okay. So,
To
Sunblade.
roll the most dice.
Yeah.
25 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Hydrate.
My kid stole my water bottle. I'm so thirsty.
So 12,
12 damage. Cool.
and then
Next attack.
second one is 10 to hit.
That misses.
Okay. Now I use my key point
Mm-hmm.
to do flurry of blows, and then it's unarmed strike.
You can still use your Sun Saber because it's a monk weapon, so we're allowing that.
So another 27 to hit.
27 hits.
14 damage.
14 damage. Oh. This is radiant damage, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. Cool. Good to know. As your
It
attacks,
heals from radiant attacks.
as your go, you have one more attack left, right? Go ahead and do that one. I think.
How many?
Oh
How many
lord,
have
I
I
just
done?
noticed the piece that she's attacking.
Yeah. Oh, that's
But am I really helping it, guys?
It's Batman.
Right.
I
It
don't
looks like the
wanna beat up
final
Batman.
boss in Silent Hill.
24 to hit
24 hits.
and 15 damage.
Nice.
And then with that, I would also like to use another key point for.
Did you say
Stunning Strike. Can I do that?
Did you say
What?
20 on that last damage?
No, I did not. What did
Oh.
I say? I already closed it. Hold
I thought
on.
you said
No, you're good.
15.
15, I
15?
think.
I did say
Yeah.
15.
All right, cool. How would you like to do this? Because
Oh,
as I was realizing that you were hitting it with radiant light, it like as you were running up to it, blade was I don't know how you run with your blade extended.
Naruto.
You did Naruto style or like however you want to say.
She
your-
just runs with it
Yeah.
extended.
like my arm back here, my sword arm behind me, and then it's just like a big yeah.
Yeah. So as you're running towards
Yeah.
it, you see it like as it was gliding down in this fashion, it suddenly stops because your Sun Saber radiates light brightly around you, right? at this bright light, you see it stop, and it opens its wings like a parachute, kind of like stopping a fast-moving rocket or something. It just kind of holds it back as it's trying to back away, and you just make quick work. And each time your blade goes through its shadowy form, you hear it scream in pain as parts of that shadow tear and rip along with the blade as it goes up, through, and up, through, and up, through. And each time, it's like trying to start to fly back and away from you and this bright radiant light, but it is too much. And on that fourth swirl, you do one of those like eyes closed, really cool behind the back swirls, and the last of it cuts through its midsection, and you see this upper half of shadow just get torn asunder as it goes and is gone. And the whole thing just like you do, it's kind of like one of those shots where you do the eyes closed behind the back, the camera focuses in the background, and you see the explosion as the slow motion swirl of your hair, like Kung Fu movie style, it just goes back and around. It is completely gone and destroyed. Dope as hell. All right, that ends your turn. Top of the round, the small little gremlin that just attacked Naja. It is like it. That blast of radiant light as
Just
you
like gnawing at my ankle.
it. I'm gonna say it actually is gonna throw itself back against the wall. As you look at it, it is burned up. It looks real bad as it like the radiant fire is like kind of is burning off of it. Well, that and they don't have a lot of health because they're tiny
I was
little
hoping
nuggets.
I could completely get rid of that.
Sure, if you want. If you're
good.
oh.
No,
Is it another quasit?
Oh.
Did we find out what that little?
Yeah,
thing
it was
is?
another quasit. Yeah,
Okay.
little gremlin thing. Okay. As it's like you hear it in its tiny little voice, kind of yelling at you in abyssal. Get away! Get away! Get away! As it like starts backing up. What are you doing? Oh, that's it. That's its movement. It's gonna start backing up and then trying to run. You can make an opportunity attack if you wish, but it is back.
I
back
do
in.
wish.
All right.
Okay. Scared of all my dice.
And since you are, well, I don't know. Hold on.
That is a 14.
14 hits.
Okay, good. That's 10 points of slashing damage.
It only had 1 health left. So how would you like to do this?
Oh my gosh. I don't even want to like spend the energy to really smash it. I just want to like knock it over the back of the head. Like, into the ground.
So, like you hit it over the top of the head. It
Just like
hits.
mush it out.
Yeah.
Turn it into Yamcha.
As it hits the ground, it like lays on its back. It's like, and its body just kind of begins to melt into black pudding ooze. It just kind of starts to seep around where its body once was, but it is now gone. Also, all right. Anything else you're wanting? Oh, that was it's
Not my turn.
No, that was not your turn. That was just your opportunity to attack. And it is now toast. Martel, it is now your turn.
All right, yeah, we're just gonna keep on full offense on this poor giant bastard. I do want to try and move. Sorry, 1 second.
No, you're good.
Yeah, put me in between. Nah, that's. I guess I'll let them take moves. Yeah, I'm good where I am.
Okay.
So full on 4 attacks, 2 normal, 2 flurry of blows, and here we go.
You got it.
1, 1, 1,
23.
1.
23 hits.
That would have been Dreamy's dice.
29.
That also hits.
22.
That also hits.
And 20.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So let's see. What did the damage look like? All right. 15 plus 15 plus 10 plus. No way. 15. Okay. So at 55 total, I think what I will do
All right.
is basically just ram my blade like right into its chest, and then try and like go up as much as I can, and then tear it out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, 100%. With that amount of damage, definitely, like, going in, you, like, skewer the thing as it's, like, starting to, like, crab walk past you to get towards your friends. And as it, like, is starting to be in the process of turning to them instead of you, you kind of, like, curve out sideways, and so from like sternum out, you just have this burning mark that kind of starts to burn away the cloth that was there, and the skin starts to kind of peel, and it reveals like another, not necessarily an exoskeleton beneath, but there is definitely something that was hidden beneath the skin of the hobgoblin that was there. There was some. It's as if it is wearing a hobgoblin on it, and that.
Oh god, it's a bug.
The way the arm had stretched out, it had burst through the original hand and arm of the hobgoblin to reach Shaudir. So now, as its like hand is back, it almost has that. I guess it is in the sense the exoskeleton, because I'm in my mind, I'm imagining that its skin looks like the aliens from Independence Day. So it has that like really bone-like, sinewy kind of look to it, as that is what was under the creature.
It's going to be really difficult to reassemble the poor hobgoblin.
Yeah.
I never gave him that hug.
All right.
That's what you turned it into. This.
All right. You're staying. You're staying where you're at. You're good with where you're at.
Yeah. I'll let them maneuver as they wish.
All right, Shaudir, it is now your turn.
Shaudir will ask aloud, do we think we're being attacked from outside? Where did Sybil go?
Sorry, you're asking me that?
Anyone?
She's still out there. She's fine.
If you say so. And he
Who do
will
you call
aim
her,
his
Sybil?
he'll aim his oil lamp like a gun again and blast it twice.
All right, I'm gonna get blaster sounds for the next battle. I'm doing
15 for the first one.
15 hit. No, 15 misses. Actually, sorry.
Yeah. Second one is a dirty 20.
That one hits.
And that is 7 plus 10, 17 damage due to adding the bludgeon.
Yeah.
And I will push it 5 feet back into the wall that it was moving up from.
All right. Oh, yeah. It moves 5 feet back up this way. Oh, I guess this way. Yeah, right? Because you kind of push it backwards as it takes the blast. It, like, shunts it 5 feet backwards as it was starting to, like... Actually, as that first blast dodges, it misses in front of it, and it turns to you and it catches it dead center of its chest. So between Martel's lifting off of it with his sword and your blast, it like sends it in this weird corkscrewed somersault backwards that you can hear bones and cartilage or something shifting in its center, as like the center of its body and its legs kind of rotate in these weird pinwheely kind of ways. It like plasters itself back up against the wall, looking like a spider in a corner kind of thing. It just kind of as it plasters itself up, and then like hisses and roars loudly at you guys in response.
As a bonus or whatever action, can I like try to open the door next to me? Just like
we'll say it's open.
Outside?
No, it's open. We'll say it's you guys just busted it open. I don't think you closed it afterwards.
That's the same door. Great.
Yeah, that.
Shaudir will take 5 steps outside, 5 feet outside. Just to see what's going on outside.
All right. Because it was the end of This is the beginning of that last turn. I'll say you just are in time to see like Sybil blade lit just like Martell's, but a different color. And she is now looking like she's in the process of moving back towards this. There is a little bit of fading of black smoke in the air behind her as if something is like dissipating away. But she looks cool and as a cucumber.
Yep, she's got it. And Shouter will go back inside.
Okay.
But he will then take 5 more steps
5 feet back.
diagonally up to the right. There. Just a little bit more into the room so it can't just smack around and
Okay.
get me.
Okay. Cool.
My friends are not human shields. They are just obstacles.
Perfect.
For it, not me.
All right. That ends your turn. Naja, is now your turn.
Okay. I want to go up and I want to strike at it a
Sure.
couple of times.
Charging forward, you see it like up against the wall.
Okay, I'm going to use my 1 advantage on this attack. And that is a 27.
That
There
hits.
we go.
Yeah.
A good d20
You found a
just
good
fell
dice.
off, and
There
I
we
lost
go.
it on the floor.
was gone.
So this is going to be 13 points of slashing damage, and with that Zephyr Strike, an additional 2 points of force damage.
Dope.
Another strike is another 27.
See, it's a good dice.
Yeah, I finally found one. 9 points of slashing damage. And then
That-
for my bonus action strike, a dirty 20 for 10 points of slashing damage.
Perfect.
And then I'm going to step back 15 feet out of its reach, but because Zephyr Strike is being used on this turn, it cannot take an opportunity attack on me.
Perfect. So back up 15 feet. So back over here.
Mm-hmm. Does it
Um,
have like a 10-foot range?
It seems to, yeah. And so as soon as you get to that last, like even, I'll say you don't even get the 10 feet before it tries to reach at you again. But you did this weird, this whirlwind of movement as you moved forward. She becomes almost a literal blur of wind and motion as you come in, do your strikes, whoosh, 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 and then whirlwind. It's like yo-yoing in and then yo-yoing back. It's a skill that you've learned from many a blade dance that you have done. But you are back and you feel the wind pass from a strike as it had tried to like reach out at you to try and just grasp you, but missed.
Y'all, dear, I feel like by the time you like poke out and poke back in, it's just like,
Cool.
see me do it again?
So freaking fast.
It is now the creature's turn. And the hungry, now having been slashed and now enraged at how quickly you had come in and after it, it is going to chase after you. And it is going to run forward on all fours on the ground, walking like
does
something.
Martel get a
Sure.
opportunity attack?
It's like as he goes on all fours, it just goes as it like crawls on the ground towards you. We'll
That's
even
a 20.
that hits. We'll even say that as it hits this part of the wall, it starts doing up on the wall over the ceiling and kind of like lands on itself, Grievous style, as it kind of like just brings itself forward to try and
Oh, that's weird.
yeah. It does
9.
9 damage. Hey, 9 damage is 9 damage. You slice as it goes, and it kind of causes it to stumble, which makes it reach onto the wall, up on the ceiling, and then clamber forward. It kind of like counterbalanced itself from that attack as it like lands in front of you, and it is going to make a bite attack and a claw attack. Well, first it's going to make a claw attack on you.
Hit me.
That is a 26 to hit.
Warding Flare.
Ooh.
See,
learned I have
don't have
reactions.
that.
What is
Never
that?
play people with reactions.
What does that look like?
It's like a smaller version of that same light shoots out and blinds it, imposing disadvantage on the attack roll.
Okay. So I roll it again,
Mhm.
or
To take the lower number on your attack.
14 is the lower one on the attack for the.
Misses.
All right. So the claw attack misses.
Nice.
It now extends its head forward like it's going to try and eat your head with its enlarged mouth. I'm assuming, does that still work with the disadvantage?
No,
Or is
it's
it just
a
a first?
reaction to one attack.
Well, that's okay because the bite attack was only a 12.
Nice.
That would have hit me.
As it like goes down forward, it's like watching a great white just open mouth coming towards your head. It would have just consumed your whole upper torso had it done so, but you expertly dodge back and it like snaps shut just inches from you with a wet like of the jaws, and it kind of just spittle sprays a little bit from the jaw snapping shut and pulling back. That is unfortunately all of its moves, and now it is Sybil's turn. As you see a lot of movement in that doorway right there. What are you doing?
Can I see, like, is he still on the ceiling and stuff?
No, he's on the ground now. It just was kind of one of those, like, he went up the wall and then, like, flipped down in front.
So I'm going to run at him and cut off his head while he's trying to bite her.
Okay. Ooh, running in there. So you, like, run in and slice.
Right. I'm going to do, like, a front flip, and I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have 4 attacks if you're using Flurry of Blows again.
Yep. So my first main's 25 to hit,
That hits.
13 damage. Can you hear me?
Yeah, 13 damage. Go on.
Oh, 9.
That misses.
12 to hit.
Also misses.
28 to hit.
28 hits.
Also
For
misses.
some reason, misses.
I think that's natural, so does it mean it's crit?
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay. How do I do that?
So if you're using your D&D Beyond thing, you right click on the damage, it should give you the crit option, and it'll automatically calculate it.
Okay, it was 13.
13 was the total, or 13 was what you rolled regular?
That was with the crit.
Okay.
Very nice.
Sweet. All right. So we're gonna say that with this, as you come in and you make these attacks, it brings one of its arms up and shields it, and you like almost sever through the arm. Almost. I am going to, for the rest of its lifetime, however long that's going to last, it's going to have disadvantage on one of its claw attacks. And on that last one, since you critted on it and you were trying to go for its head, as it brought its head back up to look at you, you do a swipe and take out its lowered part of its lower jaw. Like you burn through part of its cheek, and it like cuts sideways. So now it has this very like large gash in the side of its face where it's like sizzling and burning.
Okay.
I'm the layman surrounded by the Flash.
Beautiful.
How many key points am I allowed to use per turn, or is it just like per bonus action?
I think it's bonus actions.
Mhm. If things take
Yeah.
a bonus actions, you only have one bonus action.
All right, so that ends your turn then. Martel, it is now your turn.
Hey, D&D with me. Thanks, friends. Welcome.
Oh, hey.
All right. Oh, we had a
Raid.
raid. A raid.
We're fighting a Sorosworn the Hungry.
Ew.
Ancient horrors.
So
Of
get me
Deep.
right up behind it.
Yeah. All right, cool.
And we're just gonna start wailing on this thing like they did in Office Space. Okay, so yeah, we got 4 attacks coming in.
All right.
Unless you
Ford.
don't think I need them.
Do what you need to do.
All right. What do we got? 25.
25 definitely hits.
Oh, that won't hit. 13.
Misses.
All right. We'll just go ahead and use the key points. Cool factor
Yeah.
or key point. That is a 21
That hits.
and a 14.
Misses.
Okay, so
For our monks, Graham is right. You can use a key point for stunning strike. That doesn't count as a bonus action.
You can use it for any and each of your attacks. So if you have the key points, that could be 4 stunning strikes.
4
Shoot.
chances at a stunning strike,
Yeah.
because then it'll just carry for 1 round.
Sybil. Did you hear that? About the were you wanting to do the stunning strike? Is that what you're wanting to do? Or what? Had you,
Honestly, no, not particularly that time.
Okay.
I was going to disengage and
Okay.
get away, but
I was like, because that could change what this was about to happen next. But all right, keep. What was the damage total?
That could have saved
Damage
whoever's
total
about to
22.
die.
I'm going to be honest, really, really honest. That was not my intent. I'm
No, you're
sorry.
good. No, you're good. You're good. But hey, now you know. If you're doing stunning strike, as long as you have the key points for it, you can do it. All right. So, 2 hits, 2 misses. You do the swipes, and it just kind of starts dodging and a little, but most of it is just pure burning through its skin, and you're seeing how it has this hardened exoskeleton underneath that is keeping it drummy.
For the monster.
Poor baby, it's getting beat up. Oh no. Yeah. Well, we'll see. It's got it's looking pretty beat up
It
right
will
now.
need it.
Yeah, it's looking pretty beat up right now. There's a lot of tears, these like burn marks through its body at the moment. All right, that ends your turn then,
Maybe
Martel.
it can try a persuasion check to get us to back off.
Martel, that ends your turn.
yeah.
All right, cool. Shaudir, it is now your turn. You see that now all of your new friends are just wailing on this creature, and there's just like a flurry of motion back and forth of like blades
I
going.
will
zoop,
hope I
zoop,
don't
zoop,
hit
zoop,
them.
zoop, zoop.
And I will point just at the flurry.
Are you gonna like
It's
close your
fine.
eyes and just like,
Yeah. All right.
I'm one with the weave,
No,
and the weave is with
I will
me.
point. I'll point just kind of at the flurry of motion. Be like, they're apparently so fast. Hopefully, they can dodge this. And I will try to
Dodge.
shoot. I'll try to shoot it just through them.
Dodge this. All right,
If
go
this
ahead.
doesn't
Make your
work, it is good to know.
make your attacks.
That is. Dang it. 14.
Misses.
For the second one, that is a 21.
That does hit.
That is 10 plus 10. So 20 damage.
20 damage. Nice.
And because 4 of that is bludgeoning, I will push it back.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I can't push it back.
No.
I will.
I mean, you can go for it. It's
I'll
gonna
just be an asshole and kind of bang it into the wall, not moving it. at
well,
all.
because it doesn't. It's if it's going back, it's gonna go into Martel. So it strikes it with a pretty sizable amount of a burst to the chest. Like there is a blast.
caliber of
Nausea.
this lamp is very high.
The blast goes right past you, Naja, and you're like, the hell? This purple beam that just goes by, and then another one that gets right in the center of its chest. Poof, and it like sends it flying back into Martel. There is now a sizable wound in it from this
Sorry.
this eldritch blast in its chest. It's just like, and it's like its arms are like swiping around wildly. All right, that ends your turn, unless you're moving.
Can it get past that wall? Oh, right now it's in the middle, so yeah, it can. I will just kind of.
Yeah, it's
move-
literally just I just for flavor said that it kind of landed back on Martel.
I will go.
We'll shift it. We'll shift it back some.
There we go.
Diagonal
Perfect.
left to where
Diagonal.
I was, to where I'm kind of diagonal left. Oh, sorry, from the camera view.
So this direction,
Other way, opposite way.
This way. Oh, but
Yes.
back.
Yes.
All right.
Just in as least they can get me-able place.
Got it. It is looking really bad, and it is now Naja's turn. As you see
Poor
this
old
gaping
hobgoblin.
wound that has burned away from both the hobgoblin flesh and the exoskeleton, you can see what looks like this blackened organ on the inside that is pumping fluids down its now gaping hole.
This is going to be fun. I'm going to cast Toll of the Dead, and because it's missing hit points, I get to roll d12s.
Yeah.
There are 13 points of necrotic damage.
Does it? Oh, it has to make a save or no?
Nope.
Just told it.
Oh no, wait, wisdom saving throw.
It wasn't save. Well,
My bad.
it's not. Oh my god! It rolled a natural 20 on its wisdom save.
Then it takes none of that damage.
None of the damage?
No, because it's just a cantrip.
A bitch.
You
Save or
son of a
suck.
bitch.
There is this vibration to the air around it. And it in its wailing is just like clawing through it. As it claws through some of this stuff.
Was that with its inspiration?
No, that was without inspiration. I totally forgot about the inspiration, to be honest, because it hasn't had the ability to do anything yet. You see, there are these blackened tendrils, not blood, that are starting to seep out of its chest and crawl across its body. And it seems that when it's doing that, going across, back, I haven't had a chance to use it yet, Drummy. Don't worry, I'm going to use it. It's gonna happen. Just wait. It is swinging back and forth, and you see these black tendrils tear through the fiery magic that you have done. As it has like this after image, it's like, what is it? The slow, like a slow motion, like thing. There's like this black tendril that kind of cuts around its arms.
It's okay. I get a bonus action slash with my scimitar of speed.
Yeah.
That is a 24.
24. That definitely hits.
This is going to be 12 points of slashing damage.
Nice.
How would you like to do this?
Straight into the heart.
As it like struggles through the Toll of Dead magic, you kind of use that as a distracting effect as you do a quick slow spin and bring your sword back into that hole in its chest. It comes, Martel, you see the blade go out just like inches from you from the other side. And before she like whoosh, brings it out, and there's this slathering of black liquid that goes across the floor. It's like you can see that its eyes just kind of like ooze out of its skull as it collapses onto the ground, and then kind of starts to decompose a lot faster than normal things. And as everyone stands there taking a breath and looking around at the carnage that has happened in this house, we're going to use that to take a break. Son of a bitch. What is happening? Yeah, because normal things would take days. Yeah, no, for sure. Drummy, don't worry. I'm keeping your inspiration and I'm going to use it at a later time. But since I rolled a natural 20 on it, there was no need for me to re-roll it. And I was hoping it would survive. But it had
That's
two.
going to hurt us
He
later.
gets to keep it.
He had 2 hit points left. I was like, if there's no way that this thing is gonna live, and then it survived what I thought, and then it didn't. I was like, yes.
I'm so glad I picked that sword for my magic item.
That inspiration's going to be used by its vengeful descendants.
Oh yeah,
You
there's
killed my dad.
there's more where that came from. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Give us like 10 minutes. We're gonna go take a quick bathroom break, and we'll be right back with
Get
more.
water. Those of you whose water was.
Zoop. All right. We are back. Let's see here. Where is some good? Go with this one, I guess. All right. The creature now fallen at your feet. Martel, Sybil, Shaudir, and Naja. You guys all look at each other in that moment of like, well, that was interesting. What are you doing?
Do we have any suspicion that that means anything, or did we just?
Yeah, have I seen anything like that in town before? Or heard rumors from the Undercity?
You've heard all sorts of really crazy things from the Undercity, but you have not heard of a creature inhabiting something else's skin.
Well, it's good to know that Lydia and Graf, you can handle yourself in a fight.
Likewise.
Did you
More
doubt
than
us?
a guide.
I'm sorry, I missed what Martel said.
I said, did you doubt us?
No. Especially not Lydia.
Yes, good to see you again.
Ah,
She's been here the whole time.
Yes.
Down dear, you're not so bad yourself.
Why, thank you. I have a few tricks up my sleeve. But hopefully that can Shaudir see if he would recognize any lore or arcane knowledge of this creature?
Make an Arcana check. Or history, I guess, maybe. But Arcana is probably more related to this sort of thing.
22.
22. There are any number of studies of creatures from alternate planes and dimensions. The summoning of beasts, and fiends, not only from the infernal realms, but also that of the abyss. I've seen pictures probably of the Quasit that is now melted on the floor in a puddle of ooze. This creature that lays before you now and is now also melting away into another puddle of ooze looks like something out of nightmares. And to have it have been hiding under the skin of a creature is disturbing, to say the least.
Can I make an investigation check?
Sure. On.
Well, I don't know what this thing is, but hopefully it's not like a spreadable disease, meaning this is not the hobgoblin. This was something else.
A 23.
What are you investigating on?
If there are any openings into the Undercity, if there's any kind of arcane traces.
In the house?
Yes, in the house of why they would be here specifically.
You start looking about the house and you go into what had been kind of more like a bedroom, that little offshoot room that you can, like above, it has still the little pole across where you can like bring a curtain, but there is no curtain, it just has the pole. And this had been his like private room, but the floor is empty except for the little bed roll that the creature had been using, whatever that was, the little lantern and a couple of little bags that now lay open, and you can see like crumpled food. The bags look a little greasy, like they had something else inside them. Looking around the kitchen, it's bare.
Yes, I'm
There's
poke into the cabinets that the creature came out of as well.
You see that in the dark corners of the back of these cabinets, there is like a film that is covering the walls. It's like a mold, almost like a black mold that kind of has creeped across the back ends. You also see that slithering in these back corners are more serpents, smaller ones, but just like wrapped up and coiled. The the outside of the kitchen and the corners, you could see cobwebs have already started to grow. Like, this has definitely been abandoned or not used in a way for some time, but to have all of this stuff like in the darkness where there's dark patches, so hidden inside the cabinets, not where the light of the day would have hit, but just to have them there kind of is interesting. You go to this back that back room on the corner, to show you real quick where you're at, but like this back room over here, which is like where there's like a bathroom that goes into the ground, or like a bath that goes into the ground a little bit.
Yeah.
And opening the door here, what looks like it had been a pool of water to bathe in is now looks like a pool that has been open to the air for a year. It's green. There's like a film that has started to grow up the walls a little bit. There are no windows in here, so it's really dark, and it smells heavily of mold, and you kind of cover your mouth a little bit as it just smells off-putting.
But it smells more like natural in mold, or am I getting kind of any kind of like arcane?
There's no
Especially in
there's
like
no
the darkness with the serpents.
there's no real nothing for you to compare it to. There's nothing that feels magical or like this was done. However, when you open that room, Martel and Sybil, what are you guys doing?
Probably gonna go up to Sybil and be like, "You will not believe the day I've had."
I just I stare at him blankly, knowing that nothing could have been. Something happened, and that's why he's saying this, and I know it. I just don't know what it is yet.
What is both of your passive perception?
18.
18?
20.
Oh, that's high enough for sure. Both of you smell something in the air. And you see Naja like poking around in this room, then that's kind of where you can tell the smell came from. This smells familiar in a sense that you have not smelled it in a while, but it reminds you of a scent that you smelled when you had gone to the abyss. It's a very wet, earthy kind of smell, but it also smells not like wet earth. It's a very different kind of mold. But Naja, at the moment, I would say you're just kind of equate it to more of like a strange moldy smell, just because of your unfamiliarity with this per se.
We should finish our investigations quickly if we want to get back before dark.
Back to where again? The bar?
Back to the stumble down,
Okay, I wanted to be sure.
to not
Well-
be out amongst the city after dark.
What did we come here for again?
This was Gaius's house.
Oh, that's right. You find any of you find any sign of him? That wasn't him, right? Pointing to the mess on the floor.
No, it was not.
No.
I want to look. I would say we need to leave.
And
Right,
trust your
we need
judgment.
to leave.
Back to the stumble down?
As quickly as
We
possible.
We should set this building on fire and leave.
You are a very
Alright.
serious person. Is that a serious statement? The first part?
Can I insight to see like the seriousness of, to like pick up on that she has picked up on something that I did not with that smell in that room?
Yeah, sure. Make an insight check.
I'm going to ignite my
12.
blade.
12.
Hmm.
You
Hold
can
on,
tell. You can tell. I would say you can tell that both Sybil and Martel definitely had a reaction to the smell that was just kind of like a, well, that's interesting. But yeah, it's not hard to read. Sybil is very, very serious and adamant about whatever she's got going on in her head. And Martel igniting the blade immediately kind of gives you like the follow up to that.
Real quick,
I
before we, sorry if you need to say something.
no. Go ahead.
Before does this place need to be burned? It's mostly made of stone. Will it even burn that well? Because I know a way that we could definitely destroy the house, but also not necessarily be caught for arson and get into a bunch of legal trouble.
Least of
Legal
our problems
is-
right now.
I can make sure this
Questionable
house is
here.
destroyed.
I'm good at
Can you
I
fire.
make
can't
sure-
remember.
Go ahead.
Nothing. You go ahead. You're probably asking the same thing I am.
Okay. Can you make sure everything inside of it dies?
I can
Including-
summon a friend, not the one that I mentioned, who can reduce this to rubble.
Do we need to
Rubble
burn
is not
anything
destroying what's
first?
inside.
No.
I am going to cast Scorching Ray and shoot 3 rays of fire. One at the cabinets, one into the bathroom. We'll do 2 into the bathroom.
Okay. The blast immediately. There's not like Shadir said. Most of this place is stucco and stone. There's not a lot that's going to burn, but the bits that are, in the kitchen, like the wood of the cabinets and stuff, that starts to catch
Those
fire and start
molded
to alight.
bits, and then bringing light into those dark spaces
Mhm.
to burn away
And-
the darkness.
And even in this like dank mildew filled bathroom, as it starts to light up the sides of the wall, it starts to burn and sizzle away at the mold that was growing on the wall, and you can hear the sizzle and crack and pop of things that are starting to burn, and smoke is starting to kind of filter out into the main space.
Now I cannot control fire once I've created it, so if we need to leave, we should do so now.
Let's go.
All right.
Do you think this will be enough? I can
Honestly,
summon an
though,
earth elemental and tell him to powderize the building.
Can you summon a fire elemental?
That would be
Technically,
better.
but I prefer to stick to a theme. The answer is yes, but would fire destroy rooms?
I don't remember. Does fire destroy it? That's my immediate go-to.
That's kind of the immediate go-to. You
Yeah.
don't know. Because once you were in the abyss, it was a different kind of thing. And the sisterhood never really said, fire is the way to cleanse it. They just said that it was bad. But you figure fire, and it seems to be burning away at the mold and stuff. It is drying out what was wet. And so it seems to be working. And it's not like this is necessarily like elements of the abyss. It just has that same kind of quality that is reminding you of it. So there's at least a little bit of you that is kind of like, is this really it? Or is this just because it is so fresh in your mind that it is triggering, especially for Sybil, with all of the things that you have just learned earlier? Is it just part of that, like, and paranoia is not the word I'm looking for, but it's just like being super cautious about this and how serious it is. Is it part of the abyss, or is it just reminding you of it and it's just making you, that much more cautious?
A reasonable reaction.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I still want to put
Fire
the heavy
then?
emphasis of burying it won't get rid of it.
All right. I'm going to go into an alleyway then. Hopefully, not get seen creating an arson monster.
We will all avert our gaze.
You can see it. Are you going to report me?
Don't give a shit.
Shaldir will head out into what he hopes is a kind of secluded spot within inside of the building, but
How far do you have to be? Uh-oh.
Oh
within it.
no! There we go.
Wait, what'd you say? How
Okay.
far?
Okay.
How far do you have to be? Oh, there he goes again every time.
Ah.
Yeah, we're good.
Tell Scott to stop playing
Am I
games.
still here?
Yeah.
Yes, somewhat. You still hear me fine?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, good. If I need to do a reset, did help earlier. But
No, you're good.
Shaldir will use his Minions of Chaos feature and spend a minute casting Conjure Elemental, and will conjure from the plane of fire a fire elemental. I don't have its stats, but I do have an earth elemental stats.
That's fine.
Sorry.
That's fine. I just stick to theming.
We'll
their
say
reasons.
that this may not be a complete fire elemental as much as it is a magma elemental, as we'll just use like a similar theme in keeping to the earth, but it is a molten earth. And you kind of, as you go into a little bit of a corner and start to cast this, there is an alleyway that is kind of directly across. We'll do a quick little bit return of the map cam so you can see what I'm talking about here. So we're gonna put you, Shaudir, back here, and then we'll have you three kind of on a lookout for anybody that's coming around. So he can kind of be in the back of the alley, and you guys can kind of post up on each side of the building and alert him if anybody's coming. But from this current angle, you guys feel pretty confident in the fact that he is hidden. And as you cast this, Shaudir, the earth around you begins to kind of roil and move a little bit, and you guys can feel some heat coming from the alleyway as it kind of radiates, and you see what looks like a little gopher burrow that kind of goes from Shaudir across to the other, but you see as it moves, instead of the earth just kind of pushing off to the side, there's little cracks of red as the heat kind of like of the molten beast goes into and under the house. And within moments, you can see that a brighter light starts to show from the few open windows on the building. And you can hear the sound of like moving earth and stone. And you guys know that whatever, Shaudir, whatever you guys are doing, this is about as good as it's going to get, and that you should probably hightail it.
Yeah, no, I actually need to give it orders, so I will. And I don't have telepathic communication, and if I, for some reason, lose concentration, do not distract me. It's no longer my friend. So he'll go up to wherever he's close enough to the building.
Yeah.
And poke his head through a window.
Sure.
And he'll speak in Terran, if it speaks that, hopefully.
Sure.
Burn the building down. Make sure there's nothing left.
Beautiful. I love
And
it.
before the hour is up, you may depart.
Yeah. Love it. All right,
Thank
cool.
you.
Beautiful.
I'm going to say when we are a minute away, as we're hightailing it out, I will beat on a door really loudly and just exclaim that there's a fire. That way, if it starts to spread, there's a little bit of warning.
Okay. All right.
Yes, I don't need to be in range. He returns to the group. I don't need to be in range. I gave it orders, but not being in range, I would not be necessarily able to rein it in if something happens. So,
Let's go quickly then.
yes,
All
And
right.
I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace on us.
excellent. Thank you.
All right. As you guys go and the shadows of evening are starting to, or afternoon, sun setting are starting to settle in, the shadows grow longer. And as they grow longer, they seem to cling to the four of you and keep you from any super observant eye as you guys maneuver your way through Kalamport from
As we
ward
pass
to
through
ward.
buildings and the shadows start to come in, because I think I'm still in my like fancy clothes. I'm gonna swap back to the dark leather armor.
Sure.
Oh,
Excellent.
we've been raided again.
Yo!
Hello,
So many
Magic
raids.
Academy.
Hello.
Magic Academy, welcome. Hope you
We
guys
just
had it.
burned a house down. But don't worry, it was bad.
It was a bad house. naughty
It
house.
was my uncle's house.
It was your uncle's house, but the house was bad, and your uncle wasn't there.
Yes. Amazing. Perfect. Okay. So, navigating as quickly as you can, You make it back to the dock ward just as the sun is starting to set. Make perception checks for me, all four of you.
Right.
17.
Ooh. How good is my perception?
Fun.
I don't think it is.
24.
What'd you get? Shelby?
21.
Okay.
21.
I was like, I know you can't get a 1,
At the
but I'd only heard the 1.
at the -1, 16.
Hold on 1 second. You keep an eye out for anybody that might be watching you as you go from ward to ward. There is a brief moment when you are just about to enter the dock ward that you can hear some alarm bells being rung as a little pillar of smoke is starting to rise from the distance of where you had been. But you have long since left that area. So you feel pretty confident in the fact that you have escaped unnoticed. There is as the alarm bells go off, there is across the city the fluttering of leather wings as creatures are starting to fly away from that area and kind of swarm above the city. You can hear in the skies above the screeches of wyverns and other small dragon-like creatures as they circle around, startled now by the fire that had consumed a building randomly in the Kanduk ward. But you have made it back to the Stumble Down. What are you guys doing?
That was fun.
Drinks.
Let's get the drink. That sounds like a great idea.
And you'll see she's like tied up her calf. The only kind of poison I like is the kind you can to consume willingly.
Yes, are you all right?
I would say that by now that's
Fucking creature thing.
kinda
Nipping at
worn
my
out.
ankles.
Once we're drinking, I'm very interested to hear why you were so afraid of that house, Lydia.
Do we get taken
How
upstairs
did-
again, or are we kind of in the public area?
We can
this
wait
time?
until we have drinks.
No,
in
you
our
can.
hands.
You can. Yeah, for sure. If you guys want to go back up there to the private space, you are. It's easy enough to do so. So we'll say that you are in that little private gazebo.
When you got connections.
So what are you doing?
We're all back in our room.
No, back in the
Up on
little,
that little private.
We're up on the.
in the private
balcony.
space. Mm-hmm.
What was so important about that house that it needed to be so thoroughly destroyed?
It's not
Do you know what
something
that
I
creature
can-
was?
It's not something that I can remember perfectly. It's more like I've had a dream about it. And I trust how I was feeling. And I am very certain. If I find out more, I can let you know, but this is all I can tell you right now.
Fair enough. I mean, I
do
sure
want
didn't
to
like
look
that
at.
thing.
Yeah, no, it was not fun, and I don't know, but we do not want to find out what it is and what it does.
You seem quite insightful. In this, I trust you.
I want to look at Martel, and just kind of, you and I need to talk.
Sure.
You've been telling secrets.
I can bid you adieu for the night if you wish to talk privately.
Yes, I can go downstairs and hang out in the bar for a bit before going to bed as well.
dismiss ourselves to our rooms does not bother you.
Okay. So we'll say for the time being, you have a meal that is brought up to you, but you guys eat it. It is kind of like
yes.
in a little bit of a quiet space of just like catching your breath and reliving the quick little skirmish that was had in the house. And there's an occasional too where Naja, as you kind of like looking to Martel and Sybil, and they both just Sybil particularly has this look of like deep thought, where you can tell that she is recalling things, or like she's just in her own mind, kind of doing like thinking back on something.
I'll make awkward small talk by like complimenting Martel on his fighting style.
You're not so bad yourself.
Thanks.
Where did you?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
How do you all move so fast? I'm sorry I kind of took a shot in your general direction. I assumed that you would be able to avoid it. And I
mean,
guess
I did
was
not
wrong.
get hurt, so
Where
Did
did
I?
you
was
get
just
those swords?
Good job.
Say family secret.
Which I guess, well, I don't know. I'm not gonna speak for it. I was like, if Martel, you wanted to update Sybil with all the things that had gone on during the day, or if you were gonna save that for later, that's up to you.
I was gonna save it for later. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Is this the type of family secret that I would need to marry one of you to learn?
First,
Okay.
Okay.
Shaldir, are you proposing to one of them?
Not
of them?
yet. But to remind me to not get too drunk tonight.
Uh-oh.
I look at Martel and I say, "Watch out!"
I think he's coming after me. I doubt it.
Suddenly,
What a
Shaldir.
nice spread they have here.
Look at my food, so delicious.
Delicious.
As you suddenly remember the conversation of Hathor earlier and all that other stuff, and you're just like, why? Why? All right. Well, then we'll say dinner is had, and what are your plans? Are any plans made for the next day, or what?
Yes, we should briefly discuss the next step. I was still of the opinion that, at least for my own purposes, I might be headed at some point towards the Undercity. But if there's more avenues before that, I can certainly attend any rest stops or things for your own rest stops is a terrible choice of word. I can follow along with your goals, but at some point I foresee I will be needing to go where the trail leads for me.
You potentially have one. Do you not? The who is it? This Rishi character? Was that who it was?
Yes,
Oh, that's right.
if you're willing to pay the price. And there is another ward that Gaius used to spend time in. We can investigate.
Was it implied that Hathor also knew anything? Because I remember us having a conversation about prices.
No, Hathor is a dealer of scrolls.
Also interesting. Well, assuming that I have whatever this Rishi would ask for, I would follow my guide's advice and go to the other avenues before downward first.
As for us, We will know where we need to go after we talk, I think.
And I will be happy to guide you wherever you need to go.
There's a little bit of hesitation, nausea inside, not outside, but inside. You are feeling just like the slightest unease at the thought of things leading to the Undercity, but
Oh, for
There-
sure.
there is also an element of curiosity. Now, having seen everything that had gone down in Gaius's home, this does not seem like him at all. This connection to whatever is lurking around and the uncomfortableness of that house reminded you so much of the EBGBs that you get when passing certain sections of the city. It's such a similar discomfort. So there's, as much as hesitation was like stopping you before, now there is like a little bit of curiosity. But you guys part ways for the time being, and I guess we'll say that you guys plan on
Nice
meeting
night,
again.
everyone.
Meeting again in the morning. All
And
right.
I will head off to my room. A
I
bit
think I might
stumbling.
stay for one more drink downstairs.
Hmm?
Talk to Abari and then head home.
So, did you have anything to do with that incident up north?
Now you know I couldn't say one way or another.
I told you to be careful.
We were careful.
Hmm.
There's something going on.
I told you. I felt it.
Yes, but to see it, different.
What did you see?
Some creature not of here.
Is this related to them?
I'm assuming he means the new.
He's you gather he's referencing more the cult of the dragon.
Okay. I don't know. Is there like a roll I need to make to see? Because I mean, you said his home felt like the way I did passing those entrances to the Undercity.
Mhm.
I think it has more to do with what's below than what's above.
Abari's face darkens a lot at that.
That could be worse, I suppose. Although I can't imagine it getting worse.
Prefer to know my enemy than not know what I'm getting into.
That is the way of the family. Know what you're up against. I'll make sure to see what I can find. I'm assuming you're coming back tomorrow.
Of course.
If we hear anything overnight, I'll make sure that you know about it by morning.
Thank you.
All right. So Martel and Sybil, as you return to your room, or to one of the rooms, I guess.
Well, would you like to go first, or shall I?
Go ahead.
All right. Well, when you left, we went to a bookshop and we met some gentlemen who felt like They felt wrong. I could feel the weave around them, but it was almost like it was avoiding them. I can find them again, and I think I can show you what I mean. I almost followed them, but I decided against it.
When was that?
This was they were there in the shop when we showed up, and sort of harassing the old woman that owned the place. They left as soon as we showed up. Our guide thinks that they were from the Undercity, and apparently they referenced the father of Shaudir, though I don't really understand how that would play into it. Anyway, the woman, she said that Gaius was, or Master Delwyn, she said that he was a regular, I suppose, and that he had recently retrieved a manuscript on madness. They said specifically that he was looking for something to help him with someone who had developed a touch of madness, just like the sisters were talking about, which, you know, based on what we saw in his house, it seems like our little foray into the abyss is going to help us deal with whatever's coming, unfortunately.
Also,
Next thing that happened.
unfortunately, oh, I'm sorry. You
Yeah,
go ahead.
sorry. Yeah, I'm almost done.
Okay.
The next thing that happened was we went to the house. Obviously, you found us there. The important bit that you missed was the creature that you saw when you came in. He was a man. He was a hobgoblin, and he was sick. He seemed like he had been taking drugs or something. Or at least that's what the creature was pretending. I'm not really sure if it was an act or if it was really something, a man who had something inside of him that bursted out. But he felt wrong. I knew there was something in there standing from the outside, and it felt wrong in the same way as those men from earlier. Well, not exact same, but, you know, similar. And he said before he changed that he recognized our power, and that it was Delwyn had used it before, and that he had changed. I don't know if that's something that we can trust, because again, I don't know if that was really a man or if that was just a creature, you know, saying whatever so that I would get close to it. But there might be something very wrong with Master Delwyn when we find him.
There is something wrong with Master Delwyn.
Okay.
Hi.
I guess it's your turn.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I'm bad at cues.
No, you're good.
I saw when I left, I followed. Do you remember the tiefling that I told you about? The one in the blue cloak?
I do. And Aaron, do I remember her from the time with the sisters, or it's just
It's
like
more
a
of
sister?
that. You mean, yeah, it's just us, sister. You guys never
Okay.
saw any of their faces, so there's never. But you know of the way they dressed and the way Sybil had talked about them before. You kind of can assume that that's the same kind of outfit.
I felt her presence and I followed her. What I saw when I got there was I think Mr. Dillon's been taken by whatever this is, willingly or not. And I would hate for it to be the latter, but it's possible.
I think it's a very good thing we're here.
Weave wills with weave wills.
So it does.
Yeah.
So, you, I'd like to meditate if you don't mind. Would you like to join me? Maybe I can show you what I was feeling. And we can locate our people.
Steve,
All right. Make. I guess I was like trying to think. I was like, it's like perception because you're kind of meditating, but in a religious
weave
sense. Yeah, make a weave check. But I don't. We're gonna use the what is it? You guys are wisdom based, right? So yeah, insight.
Animal
handling. Give me 2 rolls. Give me a wisdom based check, so you can use one of your wisdom abilities, whichever you feel is good there. But then I do also want an insight check as well, because it will play into a lot of this little bits.
Cool. So 21 perception and natural 20 insight. 28.
also 21 perception and
Yeah.
23 insight.
Oh, look at you guys. All right. So I'm assuming you're in one or the other's rooms, right?
Artel's room.
Artel's
probably,
room.
most likely.
And you're trying to like joint meditate, I'm assuming? Kind of? Something like that?
Her weave.
When you meditate, there is a space that you enter. That darkness of the eyes closed and the weave as it swirls around you, both in and out of you and everything that is in the vicinity. We had described it as one of the earlier episodes as like the shattered looking glass of like what's it called, stained glass, right? That kind of like swirls around you in these little bits and pieces. And you do so. You follow each other's senses as you kind of expand outwards in a feeling that's across the area, across the city. You search for that feeling that you felt with those 2 men, Martel. That same sort of twist as the weave of pulls through them, but also away from them. And you don't feel them. You don't feel them when you keep expanding outwards further and further. And it requires a lot of concentration, only in the fact that there are so many people here. And finding a spot it's like looking at a tapestry and trying to find a snag in the way it's woven. There's so much to it, but also it's kind of hard to pinpoint. You want to say something?
Just whenever you're done, I'm reminding myself. But
Go for it.
Can I feel him struggling?
You can feel that he's searching, and you're kind of, it's almost like he's guiding you. You're kind of following along, and you guys are just seeing more and more of the weave as it swirls through the city around you.
I attach him to what I felt when I followed Kestra.
Yeah, that same feeling of Kestra exactly, or the feeling of that tunnel. And where the tunnel? Okay. In doing so, yes. And I would assume you two can speak to each other in this meditation. So I guess would you tell him what it is that you are showing him?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Your mind pulls towards that feeling, and immediately within the dock ward, you feel a space like that. And then past you in the palace ward, you feel another little twinkling of that sensation. And as your senses go outwards, here and here and here across the city, you feel these openings, this tunnel where the weave is kind of being almost suctioned into. It's just like it's funneling around this like in a vortex, and it's just kind of going into the Undercity. But for whatever reason, below the Undercity, once it reaches a certain spot, you can't sense it anymore. And it's almost like there is something that's preventing. There is like a glass, a barrier beneath the city that you can't feel into. But you sense it outwards, and there are multiple spots across the city where these tunnels lead to the Undercity, and you kind of get an idea of where they are located. And a couple of them, you sense you had walked past as you had traversed across the city that Naja had specifically kind of maneuvered you away from. But you know where some of the, at least in the close proximity, the couple of wards around, you know where these tunnels are. And you get two senses, Martel, of similar feelings to those men. They're not the same, but they do feel similar.
There's something.
And then a third lights up. There are three. Two together and one on its own. Where do you focus?
I'll focus on the one on its own.
This one on its own is currently making its way through the city, going from west to east. You can kind of zoom. Do you want to like focus in on this individual?
Yeah.
You focus in on this individual. Closer and closer, and kind of like that weave space begins to narrow and narrow and narrow and narrow. This same sort of, and I hate to use the word perversion of the weave, but it's just this weird alteration of it and the way it swirls around them. And as your vision focuses, your eyes widen on the inside, I guess. But in that same sense of like surprise. You have met this person before? A peacock Aarakocra walks through the city on her way back from the palace ward. She walks confidently through the night, heading back towards wherever she is going. but you recognize the feeling of Hathor. How did you not feel it before? Strange. Strange. And that is where we are going to end tonight.
So she's your uncle.
So she's your uncle.
He's gonna be.
You
your
can
uncle
marry
if you
into
don't
the
watch it now.
family.
You're trying to get me with your uncle.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that's interesting. I was like, I'm gonna give him an option. We'll see what he's gonna pick, and then you picked the one by itself, and I was like, okay, well, here we go.
There's a hydrate for you, Aaron.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Freaking Galil.
About time you showed up, Khalil.
Well done, everybody. That was great. Good fight. Good fight. Good juice. Good soup. I've been here.
He says, having joined 5 minutes ago.
I just couldn't chat. That's fair. You were busy, I'm sure. No, you're good. But yeah. Ooh. I love that reaction of Naja's face. Like,
The fuck?
excuse me? Dang it. Now she's going to have to come back. I was hoping that we wouldn't
You
have to
did
do
it to your. You could have picked anybody.
I couldn't. I had only certain people that were going to be around.
Your brain is like, do her.
Yeah.
Make her important.
And Aaron's ending early so he can go. No. I try to end around 10 for this one because children and early jobs are present. So, trying to make sure to stay.
Which one is which?
You're the early job. Sybil and Naja have families to attend to.
I might be the youngest one here, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Kitchen's jobs are so needy. But yes, sweet. Well, that's going to be fun. Looking forward to seeing how we dive into some more things. I would have some more stuff planned, but this is a good little nugget to end on. So,
So spooky.
yeah,
So very
because
spooky.
Sybil met Hathor, right? No, or it was just
Yeah.
okay.
No, the only part that Sybil missed was the
Rafi and Jean. Okay, cool. So then, yeah, it'd be a familiar person to both of you, but this feeling was definitely not present as strongly before as it is now. So who knows what happened today with Hathor that she definitely feels a little different.
Oh, she's in
dear.
love.
Oh, she's in love. That's what it was. She's smitten. That was the feeling of not cooties. What is it? Twitter patient. She is
It's the
Twitter
feeling.
paid.
Yeah.
I prefer the feeling of cootie. The weave detects many things, but one that it really
Focuses on
always
his
picks up on is cooties.
cooties. Yikes!
And it
not
feels
cooties.
exactly the same as a very powerful evil.
I love it. Interesting. All right, cool. Well, thank you guys for hanging out. We should see you tomorrow night for Game of Santos as they finish their, not finished, as they dive closer to finishing.
I was gonna say, what are you saying, Aaron? It's the end.
Closer to finishing their final dungeon and the ending a 4-year campaign. Wow. But we'll see how things go. But in the meantime, everyone stay fey, be brave, and we'll see you on the next day that ends with Y. Bye!